I saw what you did there, Mike. I'm going to tell you about the afterlife. I'm going to tell you about what happened last night. I'm going to tell you about my insanity. Hey, man, happy birthday to William Richard Carr III. It was his birthday on June 25th.
Happy birthday, Rick.
So happy birthday. He was the original, the second bass player for Nemesis, right? After the first dude. So yeah, happy birthday, William Richard Carr III. Say what?
I froze up. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
There you are.
I left the Facebook page open, and that does not
okay.
work with the recording of the podcast. So I'm back.
We're trying to do things to bring people into our world because we don't know what to do with our hands. And you can't, if you're not watching this, you have no idea what I'm doing right now. So the listeners are like, what the fuck is that weird ambiance? It's my hands, man. It's my hands. So Mike went to a Cubs baseball game. Share, tell us story time, Mike. Story time, Cubs baseball.
I made my...
See what I did there? I put you on the spot, man.
First voyage to Wrigley Field. That's all right. I'm a lot less nervous than I was 34 episodes ago, so we're doing good.
34 episodes ago, right? We're doing really good, man. We're doing really good.
You were always doing good.
Shell.
I think I came out of my shell.
You're having conversations.
It's just me talking to one of my best friends in the world.
Proud of you, Mike Michaels.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Proud of you, Mister. And I was telling Nikki that this is our little thing we do every week, and how both we look forward to doing it and just hanging out, bullshitting, and talking because
we do. It's cool, awesome,
man.
I fucking love it.
It's a spot. It's a spot in the day.
Yes.
So yes, let's talk about your Wrigley experience and let you pop your Wrigley Virgin. You popped your Wrigley Cherry.
I popped my Wrigley Virgin Cherry on Saturday. The Chicago Cubs took on the New York Mets. And fortunately for us, we got to see them win the only game of the series, so it was awesome. They won 8-1. It was like sitting on the surface of the sun out in the bleachers when the sun was out.
Record?
Yeah, they're not. They're about 500. Oh. It was super hot, dude. Aluminum bleachers, no shade, and it was about 93 and 60% humidity.
Did you wear a hat?
Damn right. Otherwise, I'd be toasted. I sunscreen too, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of sunscreen.
Not everybody thinks about. Yeah, not everybody thinks of. Yeah, not everybody thinks about that stuff. That's why I ask, because I'm getting more and more into wearing hats again, just because it's hot and I shave my head.
Yeah, and it's probably not good to be baking the sun on the top of your head.
Probably not. Jake got like scalding red. He's boot camp school. I'm sorry, boot camp school. He's gonna kill me. Drill instructor school.
Yes.
And he had he wasn't wearing a hat for something that he was doing. Well, I'm sorry, he wasn't wearing his cover. And his whole top of his head got sunburned, and then they got to shave it. They got to look like us. So then he had to shave it, and I was like, dude, you got to lather that shit up in the morning with sunscreen and then lotion the fuck out of it once you get home and just, So yeah, he's done. He's done. By the time this one drops, he will have completed his final week in drill instructor boot camp.
Very nice.
Now, because that was a whole off your topic, and I apologize. The hat thing took me down that path. So go back to your story about the Cubs game and how you popped your cherry. All the listeners want to know, Mike, how it was popping your cherry for the first time in front of hundreds of thousands. I don't know how many people sit in Cubs Stadium.
39,312 that day.
Were you like,
I don't know why I remember that.
Okay. Were you nervous being in front of all those people?
No.
And losing your virginity? Because, usually it's an intimate thing between two people, but you did it in front of 39,000 people, man.
That's
did. Insane.
I did. At a historic ballpark, the second oldest in the country, by the way.
You performed?
I performed well.
Right on. And you had no problem performing?
No, of course not. You performed on that same stage with me, not in front of 39,000 people, but, you know, we played in front of our fair share.
That's awesome.
I never caved on you once, buddy.
Never once.
Nope. So, yeah.
Is that you in our chat that said hi? Because somebody
Yes.
said hi. Okay.
That
I
was
just
me.
said hello back.
I was just letting people know that we were there if they happen upon this little window. I finally found it, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so go on
Wrigley
with your
is
story.
amazing,
I'll
man.
stop being a squirrel.
It's the history is like overwhelming. You know, you can just see it, like from the ivy to the original brick and the bleachers, you know, they've been there forever. It's small, you know, like when you're in what is it still Bank One
Really?
Ballpark? Chase. It's Chase now, right?
We still call it Bob. We call it Bob. I know, but we call it Bob. So fuck the Chase thing. We call it Bob. It's Bob. So yeah, compare it to Bob because we've been to Bob, you know, hundreds of times.
So I had partial season tickets to the Diamondbacks, as you know, for quite a few years.
Mm-hmm.
I was an original season ticket holder with, I think, 8 or 9 other people. And you could probably fit
very cool
1.5 Wrigley Fields inside the Bob. Bob is way bigger.
No shit. Bigger. It's that small?
Yeah.
Wow.
So use your Google machine right there real quick.
I have no idea.
Look up the capacity of Chase Field. You got to type in Chase Field now or you won't get the accurate. Look up the capacity of Chase Field, if you would.
Chase Field capacity. 48,519.
48,000?
48,519.
It's smaller than I thought it was because I now look up Wrigley. I bet Wrigley's 40,000.
Okay.
So that would only make
Wrigley
it what?
Field
Not even
capacity. 41,649.
Well, they cram them in, I guess.
41,649.
It just seemed a lot smaller for some reason. I don't know. Maybe you're closer to the field.
Well, is it one of the, is it one of those things where you built it up in your head and then
maybe
I don't think get there, it's kind of like it's underwhelming. You know what I mean? Kind of like
no.
Okay.
It was the opposite. It was like when they call it the friendly confines. I understand what they mean. So now I understand they cram a lot of people into a very small area because you're literally
friendly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't see any fights. Apparently, at the end of every Cubs game, there's normally a fight somewhere, but I didn't see any. I was with 9 other people.
I don't understand.
So we had, kind of a posse.
Oh, right on. So you had... Right on. That's cool. People from work or just, what?
People from work and then friends of theirs and, their wives and friends. Just friends of friends and couples and
right on.
9 of the coolest people I've ever hung out with in my life. I would go anywhere with those 9 people because you couldn't have asked for a better group of.
Oh, that's cool.
We started at 6:30 or in the morning, 6:45, and we didn't get back till 9:00 at night, and everybody was laughing the entire time we were there. So it was a good time.
Right on.
So
and
to
everybody's
the people,
from your neck. Everybody's from your neck of the woods, or did you meet?
No, they're all from within 30 miles of here, 35 miles of here.
Cool. Right on.
It was awesome. Took the train up so we could party, have a good time. So nobody had to drive.
Oh.
$22 round trip to ride the Amtrak from Pontiac to Chicago and back. That's pretty cheap. You can't drive there for that.
No shit.
It would cost you about at least double that to drive up there. It would actually be probably triple because if you want to park close to the ballpark, it's like at least 25, 35, 38, who knows, to park.
Okay. So when you take the train, And does it take you right to Wrigley Field? Like
No.
you get off and there's the field?
So I'm going to give my buddy Rob Drysdale a shout out. Thank you for navigating us through the city and getting us to the L safely and accurately. Kind of like New York's got their
L. The world famous L. You were on the world famous L train.
Oh, yeah. I rode that lots of times, though, because when I lived up there.
That's cool, dude.
I had friends that lived downtown, so I would have to get on the Metro and then get on the L and ride into the city. So I did it a lot when I was going to college and as a teenager, but I hadn't done it in 30-some years. So, you forget your way around. And I had never been to Wrigley anyway. I just went to different parts of Chicago. So it was cool to have somebody that walked us right where we needed to go. For $5, you can ride the Red Line all day long. Anywhere you want to go, anywhere it stops.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, cost you $5. You just keep using the same pass. So that takes you right to Wrigley.
That's fucking cool.
Drops you off right there.
Right on, dude.
You're pretty much standing at the, world famous sign that has been in 1,000 movies and they show at the beginning of every game. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Most famously,
they have
the Blues Brothers.
The replica sign in Mesa now.
Do they?
Right. I did a mock rock with my buddy Todd in high school. I learned the song. That was my first public performance as a singer, and I was lip syncing, so I was paying homage to the Blues Brothers. We're so glad to see so many lovely people here tonight, especially those who chose to join us in the Hotel Palace Ballroom at this time. We do sincerely hope you all enjoy the show. And please remember, people, no matter what you do to live, strive, and survive, there are still some things that make us all the same. You, me, them, everybody. And we were dressed up, dude. We had the hats.
I love that.
We looked like Blues Brothers in shorts, and did the whole routine like they did in the movie. Man, did the whole thing. It was. And Todd's got a copy of it on a VHS tape that I've watched once in 30 years. And that was because back then you had nothing really to, capture moments other than a video camera. And yeah, that was our, because in high school we were Jake and Elwood Blues because he was this big lineman football player and I was this skinny little wrestler dude. And, just, you've known Todd. So the height difference.
Oh yeah, he came to all our shows.
Somebody said it. I drove a blue car. So it just, yeah, and so I drove a blue car, so it just fit. It's the Blues Brothers, Jake and Elwood. So it's fun. So the Wrigley sign was there. Was anything fun that happened during the game? Was there amazing plays and catches and throws and home runs and shit?
There was only one home run in that game, which was crazy because the wind was blowing out at a good clip, which is why we got about 60% of the game was cloud cover, which was amazing. Because I said it was like a sauna sitting out there.
That's good.
So it was a blessing that we got some kind of cloud cover. Otherwise, everyone that was sitting there, I think, admitted at one time or another they would not have made it. Everybody kind of had to take a break. There was a little shelter about 30 steps to your right. You just went down 2 steps and 30 steps to your right. There was a nice shelter. So you could go cool off, and they had water and stuff for $9, of course.
Right.
$9 for a water. Might have been 10.
And
that's the only part that pissed me off. Yeah, well, we were all fucking stupid.
Yeah.
We may or may not have been partying pretty much from the time we left till we got there, and this is 1:20 in the afternoon. And we may or may not have been making the most smart decisions at the time. We were kind of laughing at the guy who was selling the water for $3 outside the ballpark, telling you that they're going to charge you 3 times that when you get in there. He was not kidding at all.
I don't, and see, to me, I don't understand. Like, when Nikki and I today, after going to work it out, she wanted to go Black Rock. It's this coffee place to get this. Me too. So I got a green tea, okay, a large green tea, which is basically 32 ounces of flavored water. $4.40. Right? So Nikki got this thing that basically I thought, okay, it's got Red Bull in it and blue raspberry flavoring. So it's like an energy one. That was like $6, but I get that because Red Bull's in it. But I legit like I make tea at home. I don't ever really buy tea. I have 3. I bought them at the store, right? The iced tea things, and then I just pop a tea bag in it, put it outside for a couple hours. Boom! I always got tea revolving because I don't drink anything but water and tea really. So, but yeah, $9 for tea and her drink. I'm like, what the fuck? And when she pointed out, well, what is it? Minimum wage is like $15 an hour. Like, it's fucking robbery, man. $4.40 for
this is what makes me angry, because it was 110, 105 heat index, which you're very familiar with, but what you have forgotten that I forgot until I moved back to the Midwest was the humidity will fucking kill you. You can't breathe,
Yes, it will.
So when it's that hot, is it necessary to gouge people for fucking water? I'll forgive them for the food. Not everybody needs to eat. I could have made it through the whole game and not eaten. I'd have been miserable.
Right.
But I could have made it just to spite them.
Right.
You got to charge people who aren't making, that kind of money. I mean, for me, that's, let's just split the difference. It's like 18 minutes of my pay, or let's just say 20 minutes. I got to work for 20 minutes to make $10. And I had to do that 3 times while I was there. That's why it started adding up in my head. When it comes to my money, I get real good at math real quick.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. To me, that's just, I don't get it either. To me, it doesn't make sense because they can get a case of water for $10.
Right.
So
and everybody needed it that day
per bottle of water.
So hear me out.
And that's the thing. Then they got you. You're stuck. You have no choice.
Right.
I am.
Exactly. What you just said is my point. When I fill out their survey, I'm going to give them glowing everything. You couldn't ask for a nicer experience. There was a good police presence. There was no, in my opinion, no fear for anything. There wasn't people that you wouldn't want milling about. And I mean, you couldn't ask for a nicer experience, but I'm going to ding them on when it's 105 and people got to have water, like I would praise you right now on this podcast for 100% great experience other than you could have been the hero that day and not gouge people for fucking water. That's not cool at all.
Yeah. It's not cool.
Here's why I'm so passionate about
water
this.
should be free.
Agreed. You, me, my dad, we all agree on that. Water should be free. Here's why I'm so passionate about it. Of the 10 of us,
it's America, man.
One person was very sensitive to the heat and basically had to stand underneath the shelter for the whole day.
Oh.
And luckily, they can afford to buy water. But what if it was somebody who couldn't?
Right.
Then that person who's suffering from basically heat stroke has to walk to a water fountain. They do have water fountains, but you got to make it there. Fuck, she might have collapsed on the way there. She wasn't doing good until she got cooled off. So there's people that have to have it. So I agree with you. It should be free, but couldn't they have said, okay, today it's $2 because of the heat? They're still making double their profit on every case, to your point.
Yeah.
Actually, they're making way more than that.
Profit because again, because what if there's 32, like you can buy right now at Fry's, because we were just there, like for $4.99, having that sale, 32 bottles of water for $5. So 32 bottles of water you sell, they're buying them in bulk, right? So they're buying them direct from whatever manufacturer. So they're not paying the stupid cost that we pay at the stores. So let's just say 32 bottles of a case of 32 bottles, right?
Right.
They get for $10. So they're making $320. They're making $310 per case of water. That's ridiculous. Just sell them for $1, man. You're going to make money regardless, because you buy water, you're going to buy food, and you're going to buy beer. You already bought the ticket. You're going to buy merch. Would you rather them spend money on insanely overpriced merchandise, because that's insanely overpriced, and overpriced food, where didn't Banquet Ballpark used to have shit, Bob, where you could get like 2 drinks and 2 hot dogs and a bag of chips or something for like whatever flat fee. Like it was
They did.
You know,
they absolutely did. I don't know if they still do, but yeah, I thought that was a cool thing. Yeah, it was a little family pack or something that was super cheap.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got a hot dog
shit. They should
chips
just so people can enjoy the game. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hot dog, bag of peanuts, and a drink. $10.
And I meant what I said, dude.
The cost of concessions.
I would totally forgive them.
Oh, I know you did.
I know what you're saying, and I agree. It's fucking outrageous when you're making 6,000% profit on an item.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't have to have a Cubs jersey. They don't have to have peanuts. They don't have to have, you have to have water. That one just fucking. Yeah. When I saw, that person in our group that was not doing well in the heat, I was not doing well in the heat for about 40 minutes. Right. So the fuck am I talking about? I had to go down there and hang out too. It was rough, man. Right. Uh-huh. So the water thing's very passionate in my world too. I needed it.
Yeah. I don't get concession stand prices. Like I never, the most we ever bought when we went to the Rattlers games, Wetzel pretzels, because they let you take stuff in. So I'd bring a sandwich. I'd bring 4 bottles of water. I'd have them, stay in ice cold until we got there, put them in my real estate guy bag. We'd walk in, they'd check the bag. They were cool. And, Nikki would get a lemon or something and pretzels. And, every now and then she'd get a beer. But, for the most part, it was because it was just stupid. Like there's people that I knew that went to those games. $20 a beer, $20 for a fucking beer.
Oh yeah.
Like even when I was an alcoholic, I wouldn't spend $20 for beer. When I went to Diamondbacks game, when I was still drinking, I would go with somebody and they, let me buy you a beer. I'm like, I'm good. They'd still buy me a beer. And it was like that back then. It was like $10 for, 12-ounce beer. It's like, and I get the beer. You're going to charge markup for that. And I get the food, but water should be $1. A bottle of water for $1.
I think their beer was
it's water. It's a necessity.
I think it was $13.50.
And that's not bad. It just depends on the size, right? But
yeah, maybe the big ones were $20. You might be right. Fuck, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I just paid whatever I paid.
They're gonna, and the problem with it, the problem with it is the amount of money they're paying the players, because
we all said that
football shifting gears, right? Trevor Lawrence, right? Because in football, there's a thing going on right now in the NFL that the owners are talking about putting a cap on quarterbacks' annual pay because of the ridiculous fucking money. Like Trevor Lawrence makes $55 million a year. He hasn't done a fucking thing. He's done nothing. What's his face? The Texans dude that diddled 30 massage therapists. He hasn't done anything. The Ravens quarterback, Lamar Jackson, he hasn't done anything. I mean, he's won seasonal stuff, but the whole reason you play professional sports is the hardware. You want the World Series trophy, you want the Super Bowl trophy, you want the NBA championship. That's why you play professional sports. Unless you get to that, why are you fucking being paid $50 million a year? All that does is drive the prices up for the consumer who wants to come and watch you play.
Let me play devil's advocate. Did the players just get smart enough that they don't give a fuck about all that anymore? And if they can get a $360 million contract, secretly, they don't really care if they win anything. I know that's not every player, but is that the average player now? Has it come to that?
I'm gonna kind of, it may have, but I think as you ask any professional athlete, they want to win. Or like Barkley, I watched this thing about Charles Barkley, which is fucking great. David Letterman has a show on my next show, or the next day, something. It's really cool. Right. But Barkley back in his, because Letterman asked him, he's like, do you ever regret not winning a championship? And he's like, no, because I was able to be in the moment to obtain one. Like I don't regret not winning it because no sport is a single person sport aside from boxing.
That's a great answer,
right? So, yeah, boy, Barkley's fucking. I love Barkley. Just his mindset. He's never changed as a player to where he is now. Like he's who he is.
Agreed.
But that was the thing that's why, he straight up like, no, I had the opportunity. It didn't present itself. We didn't win, but I was there. So I think, all athletes want to have the opportunity to at least achieve greatness, and to achieve greatness, you have to win it all. So I would be surprised if you asked an athlete, like if you asked Trevor Lawrence, hey, $50 million, you win a Super Bowl and you're the MVP, what would you choose? I would be shocked if he said $50 million.
I'll agree with that.
I would be shocked.
On every sport now except for NBA. I think that game's fucking ruined.
Yeah. NBA.
I just think the whole league's ruined, man.
Yeah, NBA sucks.
I really do.
It is. It's nobody wants to build anything. They want to build dream teams instead of building within and creating a dynasty. It's let's put all the egos together like the Suns did, and how'd that work out? And they fucking suck again. They were this close, and then they fired Monty, which is fucking stupid, hired a dumbass who they've now since fired after 1 year, and brought in all these egos, got rid of what was gelling on the bench, and completely fucked up their entire structure of athletes. Now you're going to lose Booker. Booker's going to be gone because Durant's come in and fucked up the locker room and the mindset and just the mentality. Like Booker's interviews this year were not how they were years before because Durant came in and just fucked everything up. Durant needs to leave. Get the egos out. Just build a team. Like Patriots, you build a franchise. You build a team around a quarterback and you build it. And people took pay cuts to come to the Patriots because they knew they had an opportunity to win the whole fucking thing, except when they played the Giants. Right? And so to me, that's what you got to get back to that. You get the money out of the table, and the fucking $10 million is a lot of money. You don't need $50 million. $10 million is a lot of money. If you can't live comfortably on $10 million, you're fucking doing something wrong. Right?
Well, this is another thing
minimum.
This is another thing that we agree in spades on. But for Christ's sake, if somebody offered you $50 million to record your next album, or $10 million, would you argue with them down to $10 million?
No. It would no.
This last 6 minutes of conversation, ladies and gentlemen, have been brought to you by the prices of concession stands at major league ballparks around the world currently.
Right.
Somebody told me we needed commercials in here.
What do we have to do?
There was one.
Yeah, okay, right on. What would we have to do for the $50 million, though? Because that $50 million has a catch, right? Like,
no, the $50 million
like
just says
to record
that,
a record or $50 million to record a record.
There's no catch. Why does that thing give me a thumbs
There's
up?
No catch.
Don't interrupt me. Not you. The fucking thumbs up thing.
Mine, I know.
So anyway, I'm trying to keep my hand out here so I can make a point. No, the $50 million is because Chris and Mike were awesome and they sold X amount of records, and the record company says, we want to pull you out of retirement and whatever, record your next record. And here's our first offer. Yeah. You wouldn't say, well, there you go. No, because I can live on 10 million, Nobody would say.
See, yeah. I agree with that. I would take it, but I would also look deeper into that. Like out of okay, so we get the $50 million, but then do we have to pay for the tour buses? Do we have to pay for the travel? Do we have to pay for the merch?
Fuck no, we're smarter than that.
Do we have control over ticket pricing?
We're smarter.
That's what I'm saying. So I would want to take apart that $50 million, and is that $50 million free and clear? Mike and I are splitting, or is it $50 million that of that you're doing this, and this, and this? Because then it changes the dynamic of it, and then we're getting taxed on it because it's our funds, but we have to do the thing. So I would structure it as such where what we ever got,
and now we're back down to the 10 million that you said we were going to get in the first place.
Right, right, which is fine because then they can take care of the other 40 million with contractually obligations, and they're doing all that shit. They buy the jet, they fly us around, they the tour bus and shit, that. They cover all those costs because, again, I think that's why so many artists now don't do shit as far as releasing full length albums. They're going on the road touring, and that's why they're charging $400 or $500 a ticket because that's how they make their money. Because
there's no money in recording albums.
Yeah. No. And the labels aren't building anybody anymore because there's not really any labels anymore because everybody can self-distribute.
Slash pretty much said without saying that, he financed that album out of his own pocket.
Well, yeah, that's not surprising. 30 Seconds to Mars, This Is War. He did the whole thing out of his own pocket, just for the sheer fact the label. That was a really good documentary. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I have not seen that one,
but it was wrapped around the This Is War album. Yeah, This Is War album from 30 Seconds to Mars, and he paid for it all. Jared did. And
is that on Amazon Prime?
The end of that documentary, I don't know where it was. It's been a while since I watched it, but it's really good. And at the end of the documentary, like, they still hadn't seen a dime from the record label for anything they did up to that. And so his acting gig is what financed his music career. So I don't know where it stands now, but that was totally self-produced, recorded, everything.
Here's a squirrel moment.
The whole album is about a battle with the record label.
You can look it up. Def Leppard's Hysteria had to sell like 4 million records before they made even $1. Can you imagine being so far in the fucking hole that you're
Hysteria?
That you're out. Yeah, but check this out. Before they ever released it, they knew that they had to go 4 times platinum to even make a fucking nickel. That's in their document.
20 million. Yeah, 20 million copies. Yeah,
that's set them up for life
worldwide, including.
What I'm saying is, you and me and 3 other people are sitting in the studio. We just get the final master back. We crank it up on the big fucking speakers. We go, woohoo, that's the best album we've ever heard. And then management says, I got good news and bad news. We fucking love the record too, but you boys got to sell 4 million of them before you ever see one fucking penny.
Yeah.
They were a nervous wreck, and I would have been too. That is insane.
Right. And it was according to the Google machine, it was an instant commercial success, reaching #1 on both Billboard 200 and UK album charts. It's Def Leppard's best-selling album to date, selling 20 million copies worldwide, 12 million in the US. It spawned 7 hit singles.
Well, how could it not be? It's fucking amazing.
Sold just over Pyromania sold just over 10 million in the US. It doesn't say about any worldwide. And then Adrenalized sold 7 million copies worldwide.
Considered a failure. Sold 7 million records, and it was considered a failure by the label.
Diamond Star Halo. Oh, wow, that sucked. 34,000 equivalent album units in the U.S. in the first week. 34,000.
What year was that released?
Wow. That was recently, 2023.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Nobody buys any.
Last year before.
Nobody buys physical copies anymore.
Yeah.
You can't. You got to throw that one out.
But how crazy is that, dude? 34.
That's what everybody, other than bands like Metallica.
Look at the difference of that. That's fucking insane.
Look up what Hardwired for. Yeah, that was their last album. Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Look up how many actual units that one moved. I'm curious.
Okay.
I'm going to guess 1.2 million.
Wow. Nope. Debuted at #1, selling 291,000 album equivalent units in his first week.
Okay.
So as it compares to, so it basically.
Oh, we're comparing the first week. Oh, fuck. I'd have said 250. How much was it?
Well, no, but see, it says the Hardwired Self-Destruct album debuted at #1 on Billboard 200, selling 291,000 album equivalent units in the first week, of which 282,000 were pure album sales. The remaining 9,000 units comprised of 34,000 song purchases and 9.3 million streams.
Okay.
So they didn't make shit, basically. Here you go. We'll just go down this path now. The most sold Metallica albums in the order from 1 through 7, because that's all they have. Kill 'Em All came out in 1983, had 4.5 million
Okay.
What? No, hold on. I'm just telling you.
I thought we were going in order of importance. How many?
Sorry, it's not.
No, go ahead. You're fine. Sorry. My
bad.
bad.
This is what it says. Here's the astonishing U.S. sales for every Metallica album. They only have 7 though, which is weird. Kill 'Em All sold 4.5 million. Ride the Lightning sold 6.95 million. This was as of March 2023. Master of Puppets 7.98 million. And Justice for All, it doesn't say what it is for whatever reason. 17.1 million for Black. Load was 5.4 million, and Reload it doesn't. Why doesn't it have the fucking dates, man? It doesn't have the numbers. Come on, click. Nope, stupid. Stupid.
Yeah, because they got like what 13.
Black has sold
albums.
16 million copies. Yeah, Black sold 16 million copies. So Def Leppard sold more albums than Black.
Yes, I caught that fact.
Load sold 5 million copies.
That's the tour you and I saw.
This is funny. Metallica. Yeah, Metallica. This is a trip. Metallica has sold. I don't know why they put this in there. Metallica has sold 125 million records worldwide, versus Aerosmith, who sold 150 million records worldwide. I don't know why that's even in their fucking conversation.
Aerosmith had like a 20-year head start.
Van Halen. This is true. Metallica outsold Van Halen. Metallica's biggest hit was Master of Puppets. Then number 2 is Enter Sandman. 3, 1. Number 4, Until It Sleeps. Number 5, Nothing Else Matters. Number 6, Fade to Black. Number 7, For Whom the Bell Tolls. And number 8, Spit Out the Bone. I don't know why this thing's only giving 8. Metallica's been certified platinum 16 times over their career.
16 times.
They've had 4 number 1 albums across their 40-year career. That's just because the world doesn't like heavy metal very much.
It's unfortunate for them.
Megadeth's bigger than this. There's a question: who sold more, Metallica or Megadeth? Really, Megadeth was never bigger than Metallica.
Fucking landslide.
I don't even know why that's. Well, I mean, yeah, Metallica over at the time when this was dropped was 110 million albums in comparison to Megadeth's 40+ million, but still, Megadeth still sold 40 million albums. That's nothing to be ashamed of.
No, and that's what always pissed me off about Dave Mustaine.
They say that the heaviest.
I understand why nobody wants to be second to anybody, but at the same time, we all got into music because it wasn't a fucking competition, right? He sold 40 million records and he spent so much of his life being fucking angry. Mm-hmm. It's like, dude, you had a kick-ass band.
Yeah, dude.
That's right up there with the people who only like Megadeth, dude, or I only like Metallica up to the Injustice for All album. And after that, they fucking suck. It's like, first off, who cares? If you only want to listen to the first 5 albums, what do I give a fuck? But if they hadn't kept going and morphed into what they became, they would have never gained all those fans that they did with the Black Album, and basically were able to retire from 1991 on. Then you can do whatever you want, which is exactly what they've done. They don't give a shit about your opinion.
Yeah.
They never have.
Nope.
They didn't write music that was radio friendly. They didn't write music that was MTV friendly, and they still became the biggest band touring currently in the world. They can do whatever they want.
All day.
Which was our goal. World domination. They achieved our goal. World domination. Go wherever you want, whenever you want, and play the biggest show, and everybody fucking buys tickets and you sell out every night.
Yep. Absolutely. So check this out. This is what I wanted to talk about earlier. And since we're going to wrap this thing up in 10 minutes, I was watching Nick and I were working out because we've been working out and I'm doing 75 hard. So I've been working out with her in EOS, and EOS has these TV screens, and they'll drop like the top 5 videos for a year, and it was like Guns N' Roses and Poison, Motley Crue. Dr. Feelgood was like the number one album or number one video at the time with and all these others, all these. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what the top 5 songs would be for this week in 1980. So this is kind of cool. Funky Town was number 1.
Ooh, I like that song.
Funky Town, and I just put top 5. Right, it just popped up. So Funky Town number 1. Coming up from Paul McCartney and the Wings, Live at Glasgow. Number 3, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Against the Wind. Number 4, The Rose by Bette Midler. And number 5, Ambrosia, Biggest Part of Me. Which the previous week, that song was number 1. It dropped 5. Now, this is kind of cool because growing up in the 80s, right? I don't remember Robbie Dupree, but he...
Oh, yeah. Okay. You would remember him if you heard it.
I don't remember. Okay, so his song was Steal Away.
Oh, yeah.
Number 6. Steal Away.
Yeah.
Number 7, totally remember this song, Gary Newman, Cars.
Oh, yeah.
Elton John's Little Genie, number 8.
Great.
She's Out of My Life, Michael Jackson, number 9. And then rounding out the top 10, It's Still Rock and Roll to Me by Billy Joel.
Great song. Heard it today on my playlist.
Yeah. It's interesting. And to know, it's a thing called Tunecaster. It's like you get it, like drops the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. So let's go to the 90s. Oh fuck it! That's a trip, dude. This is kind of cool. So we can go down to June.
Was it a website?
June 23rd. Yeah, it's called Tunecaster.com. So June 23rd of 1990, the week of June 23rd, 1990. Let's see. Number 10 was When I'm Back on My Feet Again by Michael Bolton. I like Michael Bolton's voice. I think he has a fantastic voice.
Agreed.
Poison's Unskinny Bop. This is kind of indicative of the time too, with just the different genres right here. Okay, so you got Michael Bolton, and then Poison. You have Janet Jackson, Come Back to Me at number 8. The Time, Jerk Out, Morris Day and the Time. Prince of Purple Rain, for people that don't know, that was kind of that era. A band called Sweet Sensation, If Wishes Came True. Billy Idol, Cradle of Love. Now, for those you don't know, that entire video was shot with him in a wheelchair because he had just wrecked his motorcycle and was fucking on the verge of death. So the whole video was shot in a wheelchair. People
did not know that.
From the waist up. Yeah, a band called Go West. The number 4 song was King of Wishful Thinking. I remember that.
That's a good song.
A band called Snap, The Power. Johnny Gill, Rub You the Right Way. And then number 1 was debuting at number 1. Like this was a debut number 1 song, Vision of Love by Mariah Carey.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
That was 1990. So let's go 2000. That
was my junior year.
So
no, that would have been would have been my senior year, 1991.
Okay, so here's a list of people that aren't around anymore. Not all of them. Jessica Simpson, number 10, and this week in 2000 with I Think I'm in Love with You. She must have wrote that for Tony Romo. Mandy Moore, I Want to Be With You, and someone who's still relevant today, the real Slim Shady, Eminem. Hard to believe that's coming on 25 years old, the real Slim Shady, and they still play his shit. Like EOS plays his stuff every day.
Didn't he just release a song that like took off?
Hanson, he did.
Yeah, he's still relevant.
Hanson, If Only. Oh, totally. DMX, Party Up in Here.
Up in Here.
Nina, 9 Days, Absolutely Story of a Girl. This is kind of, these next 3 are indicative of the 2000s for sure. You have Creed with Higher, and it was dropping. The week before it was number 2. Now it dropped to number 4. It was spent 1, so I don't think it's ever number 1. Broadway from Goo Goo Dolls, number 3. Matchbox 20, Bent, and then Enrique Iglesias, Be With You. Solo mi and patatas tú. The English and Spanish version.
Very
Interesting.
Nice. Very nice.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. That's cool. That I didn't realize this site had. Now that's the 2000s. But then you go. Oh, I see. So go across.
What's it called? Tunecaster.
Okay, so that it's tunecaster.com. So then you just go across it. Now I'm at 2005. Oh wow. Okay, so 50 cents. Number 10. Just a little bit. Number 9 was Lifehouse, You and Me. I remember Lifehouse. Papa Roach, they're still kind of around. The song Scars. Green Day's song Holiday was number 7. Rihanna's on there from Pone Day Replay, whatever the fuck that is. Never heard that. Black Eyed Peas, Don't Funk With My Heart. Mariah Carey's there. We Belong Together. Sierra featuring Ludacris, a song called Oh. Never heard of it. Kelly Clarkson, Behind These Hazel Eyes. That must have been an era of when she won American Idol. And the Pussycat Dolls featuring Busta Rhymes. Don't ya.
What year was that? 2005?
So, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a TuneCast. 2005. Yep. This week in 2005.
I was pretty well checked out in 2005, so that would have been one of my years I don't remember a lot of. There's a 3-year window in there I don't remember a lot of. So I don't remember any of those songs that I can. I was a little checked out from the world.
Right. Yeah, shit happens, man. All right, so as we discussed, we're gonna wrap this puppy up. Boys and girls, we're gonna see you next week. Don't be strangers. Remember, tomorrow's a better day. And hey, congratulations on popping your virginity at Wrigley Field, Mike. That's outstanding.
Hey, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Proud of you. I'm proud that you had people with you supporting you as you popped your cherry, because it's really kind of rare. That a lot of people, when they lose their virginity, they're doing it just with one person. You had 9 people, plus another 38,000 plus, just staring you down.
Yes,
that's awesome.
It was great. I'd do it again.
Yeah.
No, I meant what I said, man. I couldn't ask for a nicer group of people. So for those of you who listen, which is most of them, thank you very much for a great time. I truly mean that. That was an amazing experience.
Absolutely.
With the nicest people you could ever be with. So it was a great time. Everybody had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, cool. And nobody had any major incidents. So it's all good. We'll do it again.
Good. Nobody died.
Nope.
Just do it when it's cooler. Do it.
Yes.
No?
We all discussed
you don't want to do
cooler.
it when it's cooler.
Yes.
You want to stay hot. Do it when it's cooler.
Definitely cooler.
Yeah, do it like in the fall, or the fall or the spring,
September would probably be ideal.
Summer's bad. Oh, there you go.
Gets a little cool in October.
So make a plan. Make a plan to stick with it. There you go. All right, boys and girls. Until next time. Love you, brother.
Love you too, buddy. We will see you next week.
All right, man. We'll talk soon.
Peace.
Yeah, buddy. Peace.